Real niggas first, family over money. Kingpin dreams, trap house jumping. Got my paper right, they can't tell me nothing. Grand all winning, fucking up the summer. Do it big time, might go get a Hummer. Even though you lying, tell me that you love me.
All right, welcome to another episode of Free Game. It's your boy Corey, and I got my man's Jay Jones, Big Money Jay in the house. How we doing?
What's going on, guys? What's going on?
Hey, so where you from, Brody?
I am from Seattle, Washington, but I'm currently living in Scottsdale right now.
Scottsdale, Arizona?
Yeah, Scottsdale, Arizona.
That's dope. What brought you out there?
Yeah, so I used to do a lot of travel stuff, so I grew up pretty big following on Instagram, like 1 million followers, and we used to do videography for like hotels and resorts and create content.
Uh-huh.
Did a little e-com prior to that, and, COVID came and basically just wiped that business out. So we were living in Cabo, and we wanted to be somewhere hot, so we basically just went to Arizona, and I mean, it's hot, and it's always, the sun's always out, so decided that'd be a good spot to go.
That's dope. That's dope. So, man, what you said this your first time in Miami, huh?
It is my first time in Miami.
How you liking it so far?
It's good. The networking is out of control.
It's different, isn't it?
It hits way different.
You ever seen some shit like this?
No, I have not. I have not seen some shit like this.
Man, so tell me, like, what was it like last night, if you don't mind me?
Yeah, man. So, I mean, I got here, and I've been with my boy Jack McCall, King of Debt, shout out on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really last minute actually coming out here too. He was doing Jeff Seckinger's event for Orca Capital, and he invited me. He was like, because I'm in Jeff's fund as well, and he's like, yo, you need to come out. And I wasn't going to go to the Orca dinner, but Jack was there, and I want to come out and see some boys for e-com and stuff. So we came out, and I did that in Fort Lauderdale, which was crazy. I met so many people, which was awesome. I mean, so many contacts. Like, it was out of control. So last night, went out with Van, Cedric, Colin. Man, who else was there? There was so many people there. Jack was there, and it was a Monday night. We're taking like shots on a Monday night, and everybody's going crazy. So it was definitely an experience to come out to Miami. And Monday night, everybody's turning up. I've gone to bed at 3 a.m. every single night since I've been here. And I'm usually going to bed at like 10. So
yeah, but shit, it's like a productive party, because like you know what I'm saying?
Certified.
So what? I don't really know too much, bro. Like, what do you do in the e-com space? Like, what's your background like, or like, where you at now? Like, let's just get into it.
Yeah, definitely. So I've been in e-com for a long time, like 6 or 7 years. It was actually like the first thing that I got into. I did private label, believe it or not. If you want to go back to the beginning, we can start there, or I can kind of tell you. Just currently, right now, my background for e-com, I've ran multiple 7, 8-figure stores. I had an agency, ran Facebook ads, Google ads, Instagram ads, Google Shopping ads. I mean, I've done it all with e-com.
Yeah. So how did it start for you then?
Yeah. So basically, when we first got started, me and my girlfriend Kira, we met in college,
Mm-hmm.
and she was going to doing a fashion design program in Spain. So she invited me to come with her, and it was basically the end of the year, the end of the semester, and it was either continue going to school for computer science or just drop out of school and go to Spain. So
yeah.
I was like, all right, I'm just gonna take a risk, and I've never been risk adverse by any means. Like, I love risk. So I just dropped out of school,
Mm-hmm.
went out to Spain with her. She ended up dropping out of school in Spain too. We used our tuition money that our parents gave us. Shout out to them. And we just used that to backpack all around Europe. So we traveled all around Europe, which is crazy. Saw a lot of different places, buses, trains, planes. We did every form of transportation when we were out there. Saw a lot of things. And, we were real young, like 20, 21 at this point,
Mm-hmm.
really poor, staying in hostels, like $5 a night. Taking a lot of photos, and when we ended up going to Thailand immediately after that and traveling around, and at that point it was our travels were coming to an end. I think we had like another 30 days left, so we started kind of freaking out. We're like, dang, man, like, all right, now we're gonna have to go back and with our tail between our legs to our parents and be like, all right, I'm gonna go back to school or get a job or
right.
Whatever it may be. And we both didn't want to do that, right? So we were actively looking for something that we could do while we were there. And she had this bright idea. She's like, we should sell clothes at music festivals. So we're looking, and we find this clothing brand called Mellow Yellow on Koh Tao. Is this really, really cool island. There's 3 islands. There's Koh Samui, Koh Phangan, and Koh Tao in Thailand. Like, you can hop to 3 islands. You take a ferry to one, take a ferry to the next one, and then take a ferry to the last one. We stayed on that island for about a week. Crazy storms are happening on that island. We get stuck because there's this crazy typhoon that rolls through and cancels all the boats. So while we're there, we end up finding this really cute little clothing shop with this cute Thai lady, and Q just loves it. She just loves these clothes, and they kind of look like they're bohemian clothing, so kind of the stuff that people wear to Coachella, right? So it's called Free People. I'm not sure if you're familiar with what Free People is, but it's very similar to just that gypsy looking vibe, right?
Gotcha.
She finds it. She's got an eye for it, obviously, because she's doing fashion at that point. And she's like, Jay, look, we need to find where these are, and we need to just start shipping them back and selling them at music festivals, because at that point, that's the best idea we got for making money. So
For sure.
we go back to Bangkok, and we find this stall. It's basically this mall called Platinum Mall, and we go into this mall, and there's all these little stalls where people are selling stuff, and we find Mellow Yellow with I don't want to say they're the manufacturer, but they're kind of wholesaling. Basically, they're shipping it in from China. They're designing all the clothes, and then they're selling it to Americans so that they can bring it back, or Europe or whatever it may be. So basically, we cash advance I think it was $5,000 or $6,000 on a credit card. We got no money left. I mean, we're poor. We just take the risk. We cash advance the money, put some money in our suitcases, and we ship the rest back home. And then we go home, and our parents kick us out because they're like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? They're
Right.
like, you use your tuition money, you're running off with this girl, her parents don't approve of me, my parents don't approve of her. It's just not a good situation. So we go back, and we got nowhere to stay. So we start living out of our car, and we're basically just selling clothes at music festivals. And we run it up, dude. We killed it. I mean, but at the end of the day, we had no choice. So I think that's something with entrepreneurship, is when you have no other choice, you get so focused.
Yeah. Amen.
So focused, which I think is really important. So, we started selling clothes at music festivals. We did over $100,000 in profit, 4 months, which is crazy. I know. Lots of traffic for free traffic. So we didn't have to, do any paid advertising or nothing.
Yeah.
So, she made really good friends with all the coordinators at the events. So we didn't even have to pay to get into the events. So that made the profit margin pretty
Made it
pretty
crazy.
juicy.
Yeah.
Pretty juicy. So, we sold at multiple different festivals all over the West Coast, and we made pretty good money. And after that, we started building websites for all the people at the music festivals.
So what time frame is this? What year is this? Probably
2016, 2017.
2016, 2017. All right.
Yeah, kind of really before the whole Instagram wave started. It was our friends were killing it on Instagram. Vine was really big back then,
Yeah, I remember
around that
Vine,
area.
yeah.
So we didn't have any Instagram game. We weren't like that. We didn't, honestly, I wasn't even good at internet marketing at all. I was just useless at the end of the day. She was kind of she kind of threw me on the back and carried me through the beginning of that. And
Shout out to her.
yeah, shout out to her for real. Without her, I don't even know where I'd be today.
Hey.
So with that being said, that's another really important thing, I think, is when you start entrepreneurship, having somebody there that you can rely on or partner with, or doing things alone is just not the move.
Yeah.
It's not the move at all. So yeah, from there we started building websites and things like that, and we went back to Bali. We had the idea, or back to Thailand. We went back to Thailand. So we had the idea. We're all right, well, we found the first wave, abroad. Maybe if we go back, we'll find it'd be the next step, because we knew that. That I don't want to go too far into it, but at these music festivals, there's a lot of hippies and a lot of questionable people there, right? So they're fornicating inside the tents, and lots of orgies going on and stuff. It's just not really I think there's 3 things that are really important to success. I think 1 is your environment. I think 2 is your network, and I think number 3 is the vehicle that you use. And we didn't really have any of those when we were back in the very beginning. And I didn't really recognize that either. But now looking back, it wasn't conducive to success to be around a bunch of people that were doing a bunch of drugs, right? That's what music festivals are, right?
Right.
So we knew that we didn't want to. It was kind of like a carny lifestyle. So we made our money, and we're like, all right, what's the next thing? Like, how do we evolve past this? So we go back to Chiang Mai, which is in Thailand. Get a little box apartment, like 500 square feet. I mean, it's tiny, but we're paying like $300-400 a month. So the living expenses are super low, and randomly, like while we're there, this like Amazon. I can't remember his name. I wish I could, but he's having like a conference, and I was just like on YouTube, and I randomly find this guy, and it ends up the same day that I find him, he is having a conference in Chiang Mai of all places. So we roll into this conference, and I meet all these people, and all these people doing Amazon. They're making a ton of money, and we had started an Amazon store, made a couple sales. I mean, we shipped some stuff over from China, and I think we invested like $5 or $10 out of the $100,000 that we made, and we were doing all right, but nothing crazy, right? So we're there, and this guy Derek at this conference tells me, "Look, man," he's like, "Amazon's not it." He's like, "You should do Shopify drop shipping," and I'm like, I have no idea what that is. That says, because I'm super new to internet marketing. I'm super new to just entrepreneurship in general. I'm just this college dropout that's traveling with my girlfriend, trying to figure out how to just be, location free and time free. That's like my only goal. So he tells us, he's like, look, he's like, you can do Amazon, spend a ton of money. It's a lot of work. Or you can do Shopify dropshipping, which is no risk. I'm like, all right, I'm into that. And he goes, okay, here. So he hands me this little flash drive. It has 100 gigs of courses on it that he's like bought. So we go back, upload it onto our computers, watch all these courses, start these drop shipping stores, and fail just miserably. Like just can't get anything off the ground. And this is the same team. This is like 2017, man. So that's the same time that Bitcoin was like booming, right? Like when it first had its run.
Yeah, like when it first went up to like 20K.
Exactly.
Like that. Yeah.
Exactly. So we put like half of our net worth into Bitcoin, like at that time. So it ran up. And we did Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin, and I think we put like $50,000 in, and it ran up, and we had like $400,000. So we're thinking we're rich at this point. We're thinking, oh, like I did it, like I made it, like so. We're all excited and stoked out, and we're trying drop shipping, but we're kind of really focused on like doing the Bitcoin thing and diversifying, and of course, a couple months later, everything just drops.
Yep, it crashed.
And we rode that wave all the way back down.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's painful.
That's how you learn, though, right?
Yeah. No, actually, that's not how I learned. I had a couple of lessons like that. That wasn't one.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing with entrepreneurship, man, is like, you got to be willing to, like, fail and fail and fail and fail.
For sure.
And we went through that, like, time and time again. So, yeah, we lost all that money. And, psychologically, making quick money is not good for you either. Because it just, like, it gives you a different perspective on things. It makes you think it's easy, and it's like you shouldn't think that way. You got to be willing to to dedicate. Get focused. And yeah, we thought we were rich, and we just lost it all. So, back to drop shipping. We're learning at that point. We're failing, and we lose basically like a majority of our money at that point, like almost all of it. So we go back to zero. So it's like, we had a little bit of success. We run it up, we go back to zero again. So then we go to Bali, and we have some credit at this point. So we have some credit cards, like personal credit cards, and I think we either cash advanced or just pulled the money off of our credit card so we could get a place in Bali. And this is when things get really crazy. This is like right place, right time. That's another thing I feel like I've had a lot of opportunities for. And I think everybody has that opportunity. It's like if you just situate yourself like to be in the right place at the right time with the right people, I mean, you can get really crazy opportunities. And that's what this was, because it wasn't really a skill thing. So we go out to Bali, have no money left. We're learning drop shipping, and we're failing at it because I suck at Facebook ads. I suck at Google ads. I suck at advertising in general. Right. But my girl's really good at picking products, which is great. So we're trying to figure that out, and we just can't figure out drop shipping like at all. I mean, we're really struggling. We're watching all the YouTube videos, trying to follow all the courses, but it's just not clicking for us. So we kind of shift to Instagram at that point, just doing like Instagram marketing. And I like dedicate myself. I want to learn how to do Instagram because I'm hearing all my friends are like, getting a bag on Instagram. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna learn how to do Instagram. Let's do Instagram, and we start growing like theme pages, right? It's like 2017 at this point. We start growing theme pages, and we're having a lot of issues, honestly, with Instagram too. And I meet a couple people. I get in these Telegram groups, and that was all the game on Instagram back in the day. Is like you get into Telegram, you can learn from these people. Funny enough, the guy that I learned from, his like handle on Telegram was Yoda. So like it's just crazy. He's like, obviously the GOAT, right? So he's teaching me how to grow on Instagram, and we start growing a couple pages, and I start following, I think it was Outstanding Destinations or some page, and I see them going viral. Like they have like 5,000 or 7,000 followers or something, and they're getting like, 3 to 6 million views on these videos.
Wow.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, what's going on here? There's something like there's clearly like something that they're doing, that's special. And we're not making any money at this point. We're just like living in Bali, trying to figure out Instagram marketing. So we kind of start to figure it out. We pick up some clients, and we're just doing like, honestly, like the service was not legit. It was just like, hey, we'll try to please pay me so I can make some money, and we'll try to grow your Instagram following. That's essentially what the service was. But somehow we ended up picking up this boba tea company called Share Tea. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's like an international boba. It's like, that Chinese drink with the little black balls, the tapioca in them. So we picked them up. They're paying us like $15 or $2,000 a month, and we're doing like photo at this point. And yeah, so we're doing Instagram. We're trying to learn how to do that. I'm getting free game from this guy on Telegram, and I can't remember who it was. I think it was this guy named Bryce or something, and he just gave me the sauce. Like it was like you could use this company called Fuelgram. There's like a website called Fuelgram, and then you could use Jarvee. There's another software you could like automate posting, so you could like take viral content from these other pages, and then you could automate it so it would basically scrape these other pages and post the content on your page. And then Fuelgram, if you paid them, it would dump power likes onto your Instagram page.
What's power likes?
So power likes are basically, at that time, this doesn't work anymore, by the way, for anybody listening.
Okay.
Unfortunately. So power likes were one, you would get likes from Instagram accounts and this is the way the algorithm used to work. Unfortunately, it doesn't work this way anymore. But let's say like, Justin Bieber or Kylie Jenner or something liked your photos. It would promote your photos to everyone that followed them on their Explore page. That's how the algorithm used to work. So I learned this, through these various different people. And Fuelgram, what it would do is you'd sign up for Fuelgram, and it would, as soon as you post, you'd automatically get likes. So it'd send it to your page, and then it would boost your stuff onto the Explore page. So then you get a ton of followers.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and back then, there was only like 7 posts that were on the Explore page back in like 2016, 2017. So if you went viral, I mean, you could get 10, 15, 30,000 followers in like a day, which was wild. So we learned, we had Fuelgram, which worked, and Jarvee, which would auto post. We started growing this page, but then we found out this other little secret from like this Indian website. I can't remember what it was called anymore, but it was basically called like a panel. And you could pay the panel, and they would send like fake views to your Instagram page. So if you paired all 3 of these things together, you'd go crazy viral. I mean, insane viral. So we have a page right now. It's called Exotic Luxury Media. It's a pretty massive page. Almost has 1 million followers on Instagram. It's like exotic travel content. So we use this strategy for that page, and we blew it up. I mean, it was just like getting so many views. I mean, we're getting like 25, 30 million views on these videos. So that's kind of when the light bulb went off. So remember, like we were doing drop shipping, failed miserably. And then we found this Instagram strategy. And then I was like, hold on a second. I was like, what if we apply this marketing strategy to Shopify? So that's what we did. We took this, this Instagram strategy, and we started building a beauty store. It's called Manuka Beauty. We're selling a pour vacuum, and we're selling all sorts of stuff, honestly. But we were scraping these influencers that would post UGC content. So it's the same thing as TikTok content now, is just on Instagram. So people would use the pour vacuum. They post it on their page,
Mhm.
and then they get sales, right? So we just rip their content with this automated software and post it on our page, and then we could like change the caption,
Mhm.
you get free power likes, and then fake views, and it would just go wild. We were making like 20, 30 grand a day. So I mean, it was just crazy. So we automated this, and we had like 7 or, I mean, it's probably like 10 or 11 pages, all simultaneously doing this at once.
That's cold.
Yeah, I mean, it was dirty. It was dirty. Like, so we're growing multiple pages. We're growing yoga pages. We're growing vape pages. We're growing travel pages. We're growing beauty pages, and we're creating all these Shopify stores. Remember, we're not paying for any like cold traffic.
Right.
This is all just organic.
Organic.
It's wild. Yeah, it was dirty.
That's some shit.
It is. It's some juice. I mean, I'm sure like you can do something similar now. I don't know how to do it, but I mean that was crazy. So we do pretty well, obviously,
Right.
doing that. I mean, we blew it up, and we made quite a bit of money, doing that store. But obviously, the algorithms change,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we did that for, let's say, 6 months, and we ran that store to like over 7 figures in revenue, if not more than that, probably. I don't know, $3 or $4 million or something.
Organically too.
Organically.
So your margins was retarded.
Oh man, they were so good. Like, and the thing too was back in 2017, like nobody was really dropshipping. Like,
Right.
that was like when that whole wave like started. So the competition was like
Wasn't there.
nothing, especially like organically. So I mean, if you think about it, all the same strategies that are working now were working then, except people didn't know how to do UGC. Really, that was like not a big thing. And most advertising was, full cold traffic, which everyone knows that it's way harder to convert, because when you see something organic with UGC content, people trust it more because it's not like an ad.
Right.
So like we were hitting that so early, so that blew up. I mean, it just we did really, really well, making like 10, 20 grand a day. Our phone's going off again. We're thinking we're rich, back to the top of the mountain again. And we're traveling around at this point now because we're living in Bali, and my girl's really good with a camera. I mean, she's nasty with it. So we're traveling to like the Maldives, Dubai, Malaysia, Bali, Thailand. We're traveling around, taking photos at all these different places, and just like posting on Instagram that we're like making all this money. So everybody's messaging us, and they're like, what do you got? Like, how are you guys doing this? Like, you're making all this money, you're traveling all these places, all these people back from college and in high school, and they want to learn how we're doing what we're doing. So then we start a course on basically how to use Instagram to like travel the world for free.
Mm-hmm.
So we're running that up. It's doing really well. And then kind of in that same timeline, like this is probably 2017, 2018, Instagram changes their algorithm, and the panels don't work anymore. Fuelgram doesn't work anymore, and it just cuts all of our traffic off. So we're like, oh no, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So we started learning how to do Facebook ads at that point, which wasn't terrible, but it definitely was,
It was an adjustment.
Oh, it was a massive adjustment. So which is good. I think in the long run, you look back at like all the trials and tribulations you go through, and it's like, the things that were the hardest and the most miserable are actually, not only do they build character, but they make you who you are.
Yes.
So that's how you get the skills. It's like the hard stuff, right? It's not the easy stuff.
Agreed.
So yeah, we learned how to run Facebook ads, and we're not doing too good at those, but it's profitable enough. And then, so like I told you, like, my path has not been linear. Like, I feel like a lot of people look at people on Instagram and they think like, oh, they started and then all of a sudden they got rich.
Uh-huh.
And then, there's no threshold or pressure or, any bumps. And it's like that, maybe that's that way for some people. That's definitely not the way it was for me.
Hey, same.
Yeah. Like, it's like, I feel like I got to the top of the mountain, and then, Zeus kicked me off and I fell back to the bottom again, so that happened again. So, we started running up the content, and I became a millionaire when I was like 22.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like 22, 23, probably midway through 22. And the algorithm changes and things, get a little dicey. And then we started a new brand, and it was called Viscani, and it was a coffee machine. And we're in Bali at the time. We're traveling all around the world. It's like Q4, and my girl picks out this. I mean, it was great. Like, it looked like a luxury coffee machine. We were buying it for like $100 $150 and selling it for $500. Like, it was like crazy margins. And I was running Google Shopping ads, and I was doing like 10x ROI. Like, so we do like over 7 figures in like 3 months on this product during Q4. And oh man, we were so stoked. So that's when we ran that up, and that's when we made $1 million basically, just from you know, Manuka and Visconti. And it's so crazy. Like, obviously we think we're on top of the world again because we're crushing the game. We're so sick. We're traveling the world. We think nothing can touch us, obviously. And you come back down to smack you to the bottom and just kind of humble you out. And basically we just didn't do our due diligence, and we didn't check the product. So, you know, it takes, I think it was like 6 to 10 weeks or something during Q4 that everybody's receiving their product. So it's like at the end of December that everybody gets it. And all the products, the coffee machines, end up being Euro plugs, not US plugs. So they're plugging it in, and it's frying the circuit. So it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
And we've sold $1 million plus of this product.
Oh man, that hurts.
So
how do you handle that?
So we get 7 figures worth of chargebacks.
Oh shit! 7 figures worth.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, I've never heard that before.
That's right.
Oh, that made my heart hurt.
Yeah, that's right. It's painful. It's painful, but it's good. Like, you know, it gets better. It gets better. Like I said, like, you know,
it gets better.
You got to stick with it. You got to strap in, baby. Like,
okay.
Strap in. So, yeah, I know. So, 7 figures worth of chargebacks. Stripe hold dollar funds, shuts us down. I can't even get in my Stripe account. I was ordering through the supplier, and they just stopped replying to us. So we've sent I have like $200,000 on a Plum Amex card. So I got $200,000 on a Plum Amex card. I've spent like another $200,000 on Google ads that I've already paid, and then I got 7 figures of chargebacks. So I was like stacking up, and I'm just like thinking like, all right, like, what do we do next?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm gonna be real. Like,
yeah, please.
Kind of, you know, kind of broke down a little bit. Kind of freaked out. You know, me and my girl are just like, you know, I'm freaking out of her, and she's freaking out of me, and it's like, you know, not the. Definitely could have handled it better. Yeah, you know, for sure. So, you know.
Well, I mean, like, how old were you dealing with this?
How old was I?
Yeah.
So I was probably like 22, 23.
You're 22, 23, basically dealing with over $1 million. And you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, come on, bro. Like, how, you know, like, have a little, be easier on yourself.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Dealing with 7 figures, be easier on yourself.
Yeah. No, 100%. So, you know, it's so funny because, like, I didn't tell any of my closest friends this story for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Because it was just so painful. Like, just, you know, it, like, because we like, you know, we were posting a little bit on Instagram, but like after we started making a ton of money, we stopped posting about it because we're like, all right, like, you know, we don't want to bring any more attention to ourselves. And I didn't even tell any of my friends like, yo, I made $1 million because we only listen to this. You'll love this. I was a millionaire for 2 weeks. 2 weeks, and then we got 7 figures of chargebacks. The Stripe came and pulled it all out of my bank account.
Wow!
Pulled it all out of my bank account.
They pulled $1 million out of your bank account.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it was like, I mean, they pulled like, I hadn't paid the credit cards off yet, so they pulled probably like $700,000 out of my bank account or something, and still
had over 100K, 200K on both credit cards.
Yeah.
Without them being paid.
Yeah, with having basically no money in my account.
Yeah.
So I'm traveling at this point too. So, you know, luckily I had another store ripping at the same time. It was like this wireless like hair straightener, which I'm probably sure you're familiar with. And that was doing okay. So like I still had like an income, and then we were selling a course on how to travel with Instagram. So I had like another income stream. So like, you know, I think it was like the only thing. I think I probably would have just like went and jumped off a cliff or something. but luckily that wasn't the case. So yeah, me and my girl ended up figuring it out, and luckily, you know, we had Manuka, we had Zuby, which is what it was called. So it's kind of bittersweet. So like what I said, just like strap in, because it's like, oh, it's like, what are you gonna do? So we ended up exiting a store for like $250,000.
Sold it for $250K.
Yeah, at the same time. So like that happens, and then we sell a store for $250,000. Like, so that liquidates a majority of the stuff. And then we have another store that was like 150 grand that we liquidated. And then we had another store that we were still selling. So we were in debt, but we liquidated a majority of it. And then Stripe holding all the funds, we ended up using like her account to basically operate from, because like my credit is just destroyed. Everything's destroyed. It's just like a nightmare. Like I had a really good relationship with Amex because my mom put me as an authorized user when I was like 14. So I had like 100 grand in credit when I was like 18 or 19 years old, which was really nice, but I messed that up pretty good. Which is crazy. But yeah, so, from there, we continued drop shipping. We had a couple stores that just did a little bit of, nothing big. I mean, that was like a sucker punch. So my risk tolerance at that point wasn't very high. It kind of hurt me a little bit. It's like just my confidence. And like, I was thinking like, oh, like I don't, which I think, as advice for anybody to listen to this, that's what you should not do. When things get harder, you got to double down. You got to go all in. You got to get more, because when you go in the red, the only way to go out of the red is to go further in the red.
Yeah.
And, that kind of hurt. So we started just doing the travel thing. We kind of switched. We still had a drop shipping store that made money, but we kind of did the coaching thing for a little while. So we kind of switched to that and tried coaching, tried info products, which don't particularly like. So we started doing coaching people on Instagram, and we did 7 figures doing that. So paid a majority of the debt off.
That's cool.
Yeah, which is super cool. So we did that, kind of traveled around, and my girl's really good with the camera. So we started getting paid at that point because we're still living in Bali. We started getting paid to create content for hotels in Bali, hotels in the Maldives.
So how did that opportunity come about?
Yeah, so a majority of it came not from the fact that we were awesome at creating content, which, no hate to Q, because she's incredible at creating content. But it had more to do with the fact that we had Exotic, which is our Instagram page that has like 1 million followers. So we could just hit them up and be like, look, we got 1 million followers. We can drive traffic to your yeah. So it's like kind of like clout, and it was real. And it's like you could like at that point we were going really viral still. So we had video. We could go to a hotel, post a video, and it would get like 1 million views.
Oh, okay. That's easy.
Yeah. So in Instagram's algorithm was just saucy at that point too. It was.
So have you figured anything new out for Instagram?
Not
to like bounce off the story.
Yeah. No problem. Yeah. So I mean, I think now things are similar with like Reels. I think that you can go crazy on Reels. Like we have a couple Reels that have done 500,000 views, just organic content. So I think, you definitely can go crazy on Reels. This was a different thing because it was like every single time you could hit it. Obviously you got to put out a lot of volume on TikTok, Reels, YouTube Shorts or whatever. And, once in a while it'll hit. For us, it was like we were like hacking it. Like we, because we were sending all this like fake engagement that, I think Instagram just didn't know the difference at that point. So it made it really easy for us it's really black hat too. It's like, that's something I've really learned too, is like, you can't, maybe you can get rich off of like gimmicks and strategies and like tricks, but you can't get wealthy off of that.
No.
No, I don't think so. I mean, maybe for some people, but I think that gimmicks and tricks and hacks and things like that, like it's just not sustainable. Like I said, you're always chasing the dragon, you're always trying to catch it and hold on to it. And, finding something that's like a little bit more sustainable, having a little bit more long-term of a strategy, I think is definitely just psychologically for your cortisol is better, because it's like, when you do these massive up and down thing, it's like so stressful. It's like you're always looking for the next trick or the next hack.
Right.
I just don't think that's, I don't think that's a good strategy. I think building like a real skill set that you can leverage is going to be, it's better for your health too, because you don't have so much stress because you're always looking for something that's going to like, cheat your way to the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, shit, let's get back to the, get back to the story, bro.
Yeah, for sure. So,
Not to take you off.
Yeah, no, you're good. So yeah, we're in Bali at that point, and we ended up making a majority of that debt back. And we had a lot of debt too. We had a lot of debt. That was hard to overcome, but we did. I think in the long run, it's done nothing but like the skill acquisition that we had in that time frame was just massive. Because before that we were traveling all around the world and just like thinking we were it. You know, I thought I was it.
I mean, you listen, bro. You kind of were, bro. Like you
For-
know, like you,
Yeah.
you did a lot of shit, bro.
Yeah, really early too.
Really early,
young,
really young, man. Early 20s, really bossed up.
Yeah.
Traveling everywhere.
Super fast too. And I think, like I said before, like I wouldn't take any of it back for the world. But psychologically, I think it did some things, to me, because it's like I thought that it was easy. That made me the perspective that it gave. It made me think, oh, I can make money so easy and I don't have to work for it.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't think you should. You gotta and I was really chasing the money too, so I didn't do much personal development at that point. Which I think is really important. Just like
in what regard, like personal?
just like reading books about just mindset and things like that, and just like because I think if I would have been doing that prior, I would have been able to psychologically handle the downs.
Yeah,
the cliff. Falling off a cliff would have been easier to just. I didn't have any mechanisms in place or any good habits or anything like that. I wasn't even really surrounded by a bunch of mentors or anything, or like I didn't buy any courses or have any people that were like really crushing it around me. I just like got lucky.
Yeah,
that's just really what happened at the end of the day.
That's God, boy.
No, for sure. Blessed, super blessed. So and it taught me that moving forward and looking back with everything that happened is it just made me realize, all right, like I need to do more personal development. Essentially, just saying I need to like focus on what is important. Like is it like am I just going to chase a bunch of money, and at what point is like making enough money enough?
Right.
Like what am I even looking for? What am I trying to do? Like so it really shifted my perspective from like trying to make money to like build relationships. Like that's like really what it did, because I had none. It was just like we basically fell off the cliff, and I didn't have anybody around me to be like, yo, it's okay, it's it's all right. It's like it was just me and my girl. Like, what do we do? Like,
that's crazy though. It's interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, so we're back in Bali. We're doing our course. Is called it's the name of my Instagram page. It's Critics Travel. So we're traveling around still at this point, creating content, and then we build this course. We're pretty successful with this course, and then our one of my boys hit me up. And they're like, hey, like, I have a friend that's building their own course. Can you come out and, do that? So we're like, okay, yeah, we'll come out and help them build this course, because we did it before. And we kind of were looking for something different. I mean, we were doing good on it. We were running an auto webinar. I'm not sure if you know what that is.
No, I don't.
Yeah. So it's real Russell Brunson stuff, like, ClickFunnels. And, we did a really good job with that, which is cool. We like set up basically this, it's a VSL. It's a video sales letter is what you call it. So we set up a video sales letter. It was like an hour though. So an hour. So a video sales letter and a webinar are very similar. It's just a webinar is longer. So we set up this webinar. It's like an hour or 2 hours where it just like indoctrinates people and gets them hyped. And I really learned how to sell, like doing this. And, I really credit a lot of my sales skills to, CXT is what we call it. So we build this auto webinar where essentially like I go on and I just like pitch people on like, F the 9 to 5, like you got to see the world, like, you're living your whole life doing nothing. And it really started building all these foundations in my mind during this period of like, what's important.
Yeah.
Right. Cause like I'd traveled so much. So my perspective from, all my friends back home and everybody that I was around was so much different than ever, any other perspective I had been around.
Yeah.
So like we traveled so much, and like that was the most important thing to me, was like time freedom, location freedom. So I can do whatever I want with whoever. Yeah, exactly. Just do whatever I want whenever.
Exactly.
And I'm with my girl too. So it's like, what more could you ask for?
Right.
So, that was the goal from the very beginning. It was just like, we want to travel around and do this. So that's what I was pitching in this program was, to go out and like live your freaking life, right? Just like go out, travel the world, see things, like do things, experience things. Like you got one shot.
Yeah.
You got one shot at this, and then that's it. And you don't even, nothing's guaranteed either. Tomorrow that could be it.
Literally.
It could be totally it. So, and I knew that, just with my past, I've had a lot of death in my life. So, I knew that very, very young. So I think that comes with the risk tolerance.
For sure.
It's like, all right, like, I see all these people that, didn't get a chance. So it's like, I better take
Right.
this chance.
Live it to the fullest.
Exactly. So that's why we traveled so much. And, I was pitching that on the webinar, and it
Mhm.
really taught me how to sell, just like, frame things properly. And, I really knew, I really learned at that point, how to pitch something, how to sell it. And, I really liked that experience and everything I learned from it. And we had this 2-hour webinar that we were running, and it was doing like, I don't know, I was like doing like $1,000 a day, maybe a little bit more than that on autopilot. So I had a lot of little
That's pretty
autopilot
sick,
things.
yeah.
It was really cool. And then we had like a coaching program. At that
How
point.
much? How much was you selling that for?
It was like either $1,000 or $2,000.
That's sick.
Yeah. So we did 7 figures in revenue in like a year and a half or something. We actually had a really crazy viral Instagram ad that we were running at that point. So what was cool is the drop shipping taught me how to run ads. Started running ads for my own info product with me and Q, right? So we used all of our content because we learned all the UGC stuff, from like what we had done with Manuka Beauty and Zuby and Viscani and all these other different brands that we ran that like people really liked UGC content. So just like seeing whatever they're buying in action. So we like learned that. So we're like, all right, well, why don't we just like, take all of our travel videos, cut them up, and then run an ad and say, hey, like if you want to learn how to do this, like click the link, buy our free ebook, and then watch our webinar. And I mean, it just went nuts. It went crazy. We had like a video that got like 42 million views organically. Like it was crazy. We ran ads to it, but then it got shared like at 10,000 shares or something on.
That's crazy.
It was really cool. So we did that, did really well at that. And we did that for a while. And then, like I said, bringing it back to my buddy, he told us to come out, and we started building this course for him on credit.
Mhm.
And my really good friends were out there, and we started building this course, and it was crazy. It was really cool. I didn't really know that much about credit. We learned all these things about like how to stay at hotels for free without points. Like you get these these special passes that I won't drop too much game on it right now.
Oh.
Maybe that's for later when we're not on the mic.
I
But
feel you, I
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
you.
But you
I didn't know there was a way to do that
yeah. You can also fly for free too.
without
Yeah,
points.
without points. So you can just get these special passes from these special people, and you can essentially stay at hotels for 70 to 90% off and fly fly first class for free.
That's crazy. So like, does your credit have to be good for like?
Not for that.
So you can do it with no points and no good credit, still
Yes.
fly and travel for free. That's different.
Yeah,
Yeah. No,
that's
I
very
got it.
different. Yeah. I won't go too far. I
Okay,
won't
no,
go too
you
far
got
into
to.
it.
Yeah, but
So-
that, I'm happy to know that.
Yeah, for sure. So we're doing like a program that has stuff to do with that, stuff to do with credit. Basically just kind of like hacking the system. Like that's funny enough, that's a lot of my entrepreneurship journey has been about just hacking the system.
Mhm.
Just like finding these anomalies, these glitches that I can
loopholes,
exploit.
yeah.
And then just like you find these little tiny holes, and you exploit them, and you can just make so much money. So I mean, that it happened over and over and over again. So I met my boys, and we started building this course out, doing that thing. And that's when I really experienced like having partnerships, and everything just kind of blew up. Like we did this 50-50, 25 split thing with all these people, and it was great. I still love all of them to this day, but it was just a disaster. I mean, we were making quite a bit of money on that too. Everything fell apart. And that's when we started kind of getting into it. Was like that and like automation kind of started at the same time. So he was selling Amazon automation, which is crazy. I mean, it's crazy money. I know people doing 40 million a year selling Amazon automation, right?
Mm.
So I mean, that's like big money, big money. And like I hadn't had like my mind wasn't open to that kind of stuff, like selling high ticket or doing anything like that. At that point, I sold real low ticket stuff. Like high ticket to me was like $2,000.
Mhm.
That was high ticket. Even it's so funny with drop shippers today. If you go online, you look up drop shipping, it's like high ticket to them is like $200. So it's like people don't even know what high ticket is. High ticket is like 50 grand, 100 grand, right? That's high ticket. So working with them, I learned, it really opened my mind to vehicles. I mean, like I said, what I was saying before, there's like 3 really important things if you want to be successful, right? Number 1 is your environment. So
Right,
like
right.
everything that's around you, it's gonna dictate your success. If your environment isn't conducive to success, most likely you're not going to be successful. And I think to accredit that even more is just that what a lot of people don't understand is that your environment is stronger than your willpower. So people will think, oh, I'm the there's another really cool one is being an entrepreneur, you got to understand it's going to take twice as long as you think. It's going to cost twice as much, and you're not the exception, right? That's something that you got to learn. And every time I go into a situation and I feel like I'm going to attack a new business, I got to think about those three things, right? So, back to what I was saying before is, having environments conducive to your success, having a network around you, people around you that are going to help you succeed, just like a team, people that are, spitting different game, you're learning from, so you can, use their tactics, you can use theirs, you can collaborate, you can mastermind, you can grow. You grow so much faster when you do that.
Amen.
And then the last one to kind of bring me back to my point is your vehicle. Your vehicle is so important. Like I think people really don't understand that, and it takes a long time for them to really figure out, is that if you pick a vehicle that is not going to that doesn't have the bandwidth to support your dreams, then it's not going to get there. You're not going to get to the place that you want to be. And to reiterate, kind of clarify what I mean by that is that if you're like a plumber, you're not going to make $1 billion being a plumber, right? So it's just really picking your vehicle is going to be really important in dictating the level of success you have, right? So, to bring me back, full circle to what to my main point is, I learned that during this period of time that, if you sell things high ticket and you have these vehicles that can kind of accelerate your progress, it's going to be so much easier to be successful, and it's so much faster, right? Because a lot of people can drop ship $5 products doing only UGC content organically, but it's like, how long are you going to do that for?
Right.
Or you can sell something that's $50,000, or let's say $100,000. If you sell something that's $100,000, you only got to sell 10 things, right? Make it so fast, to success. So that was that period where I learned that from these particular people, and that just really opened my eyes. So I started selling high ticket. So I went back into coaching and started doing a high ticket program for teaching people how to use Instagram, kind of all the things that I did. And we did pretty good. We were doing like $100,000 a month, instantly doing that. Hated that though. Just totally hated that.
Why'd you hate it?
Just, I don't mentally and psychologically want to support, not necessarily support, but I guess what I'm looking for is I don't want to be responsible for someone's success.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel that.
So that's a lot of weight. So I would never want, I just think psychologically that's not a good thing. When someone, that's why I have a problem with like the coaching space. And not to like shit on it or anything, because I think it's great, and I think personal development, like I was saying, is really, really important. But everybody is out here trying to be a coach now.
Right.
It's like nobody's qualified. And and again, I don't want to shit on nobody for nothing. I don't want to talk bad about anybody. But all I'm saying is that when you go in to be a coach, it's like you're almost responsible for someone's like success at that point. It's like, all right, and I think the perspective is just like a little bit flawed, because I don't think anybody should go into any, service thinking that someone else is going to make them successful.
Yeah, no, you can't, man. I mean, like, they can only give you a few tools that you can use and apply to your situation to better you. I mean, and it's up to you to still put your work in, your time in. If you don't put your work in, your time in, I mean, what the fuck you expect, bro?
100%.
You know?
110%. Like, and I guess that's the real problem that I had with the coaching thing, is just like, I had all these people that were paying, and they were just like, like more or less, they were, the expectation was that I was going to make them successful, so like,
yeah, so
that's a lot.
If I pay you, I'm going to be like you.
Yeah, and that's just
no.
like there's no way that I can give you everything I got for in an hour, right? Or like 2 hours,
For sure.
or 3 hours,
For sure.
or 4 hours,
For sure.
I mean, like, think about it. Like, I had to go 7 figures in debt to learn what I did.
Yeah.
Right. So like, there's no way that, how about this? Like, you pay me $1,000 and then you go 7 figures in debt. Like, are you willing to do that? You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's the real problem that I had, and we kind of moved on from that. We did that for a little while, and it was well, and it went well. We taught people how to. I mean, we had a really really cool Instagram strategy that we were doing at that point. It was like this Instagram ad strategy where we're doing only story ads. We do story ads. We run story ads directly into an Instagram Messenger, and we have a VA in there that would book them a call, and then you close them.
That's sick.
Yeah, which was really sick. So,
does that still work?
yes, that definitely
Yeah, I
still
was about
works.
to
Yeah,
say, yeah.
that still works really well. So we did that for a long time, and we just taught people that funnel. So we did pretty well doing that. We met a lot of really cool people, but while we were doing that, we were still at that point doing Shopify. Like we just, again, like I told you before, we weren't as aggressive about it. So then we decided, okay, like we had a store that was still doing like 7 figures a year, and we hooked up with some other people that were doing Amazon automation, and we started selling Amazon for them, and basically just building all their funnels. So we're building all their funnels, doing all their ads, basically that exact strategy that I told you, and we helped them make like millions of dollars, which is crazy. So that's when we started learning. We had our own Amazon automation store. We started doing that. And I mean, we did okay on, Amazon. I'm not going to go too far into that because that's a whole nother story.
Right.
But that's when we really got into like the automation space. And like what I like to call it is it's a frictionless offer. So what I mean by that is essentially like it's push button. So a lot of entrepreneurs talk about push button offers, and what they are is where. I'll just give you an example. Do nothing, make money. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
Yeah, it sounds really good. So that's an example of a frictionless offer, very similar to like liposuction, right? Don't work out, don't work on yourself, don't eat healthy, and lose weight.
Yeah,
it's another frictionless offer,
Right.
right? So same thing as like diet pills. Ferrari is an example of a frictionless offer because it's like. Some people, if they want to like attract girls, they'll, go to the gym, they'll work on themselves, they'll do a bunch of personal development, they'll get a 6-pack, they'll really work on, networking and, the game and like, trying to pull girls. And then some people will say, fuck that and just buy a Ferrari.
Yeah.
Frictionless offer,
Right.
right? It's like one or the other. So, I started to really learn about that.
Yeah.
Kind of that methodology and that strategy. And that's what Amazon automation is. Anything anything where you throw automation on the end of it or anything that's done for you it's frictionless because you can sell really high ticket and like when the client doesn't have to do anything, you can make so much money, right? So, that's when we dove back into just e-com in general. So we had that going, and then I had a lot of friends that were doing Shopify still. So we still had our own Shopify stores. So we started scaling one of our brands, got us about 8 figures, which was great. And then we, like I told you before, we were running ads for all these people, and we were doing Shopify, and then or not Shopify, but Amazon, and then the back got blown out of Amazon, and that was a terrible partnership thing, and a bunch of terrible things happened with that too, which I won't go too far into. But
yeah, we could talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But then, I was involved in same thing for Walmart too. So.
So you did Walmart automation as well?
So I ran ads for people for Walmart automation. So I ran ads for them, if that makes sense. So like they sold Walmart, I ran all the ads for them, built all the funnels.
Got you.
Yep. So
so this had to have been within like the last couple of years.
Yeah, this is the last couple of years.
Yeah,
so
Walmart automation is like
so we sped up.
Last 2 years.
So like I said, like I did I've done a lot of things at this point. I've done a lot of business models, right? I did coaching, I did courses, I did Shopify, I've done Amazon, I've sold on all sorts of different platforms. And then we had like an agency. So we had our drop shipping store, we had our course, we had our coaching program, and then we kind of did this agency thing, and we were making a lot of money at the agency, like running ads for people doing automation.
Hey, not to cut you, I'm just curious, bro. Like, how do you manage all your time with all these different businesses?
Yeah, so these are all different, timelines. So I was never running like all this stuff simultaneously.
Gotcha.
Really, it was really just most of it was probably one at a time, and maybe two at once. And you got to remember, I got Q too, and she's my operator, so she helps me with a lot of stuff. Yeah. I got another person doing a lot of things. So we got into that space, and that's kind of when we started doing more Shopify stuff. And because I saw this Amazon trend, I saw this Walmart trend. And they got 4X automation, Airbnb automation.
Yeah,
they got everything under the sun. You just slap an automation on it, you can sell it, right? So,
Yeah, I mean, shit. I think says Airbnb automation is fucking crazy.
oh, it is out of control. It is. That's next level. Shout out, like, if you want to make some money, go do that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, man. Like that is that.
That dude's the real deal.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's savage. He's really cool.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, there's a huge trend going on, and I kind of caught that really early, obviously, because I keep whacking this. Yeah, I kind of got into that space really early on because I was helping people sell the offer. So that's what kind of made me understand. Okay, I need my own frictionless offer, and I tried that with like coaching, but it's like the fulfillment on that is just like, oh my god, think about charging someone 15 grand for something, and then like being being responsible for their success, right? Like that's like a lot of coaching and time and things set up, and it's definitely like, there are people that do coaching offers. Like, I mean, a lot of the coaching offers, funny enough, and I don't mean to be shitting on anybody, so just want to make that clear. A lot of the coaching offers that I see succeed are coaches coaching coaches how to coach coaches. That's like one of the biggest niches I see that people have success in the coaching space, and I didn't want to do that.
coaching coaches how to coach coaches.
Yeah, that is just like such a
so whereas you'd rather provide like a done for you type of service. You pay me a lot of money and I'm gonna make you a lot of money. You basically don't got to do shit.
Yep. I mean, that's like
and the gist of it.
I mean, think about it. It's like it's a kind of a gray area too. I mean, that's essentially like, people that make the most money in the world run like hedge funds, right? Stockbrokers and things like that. Like that's why the stock market makes so many people money, is because like they essentially do nothing and make money, right? So it's kind of a similar kind of strategy. Like real estate investing is the same thing. Why people invest into real estate funds or give people money for real estate funds is because they don't got to do anything, right? They don't got to spend, you got your active income and your passive income, right? Whereas with your active income, you're going to have to put a lot of effort in. Whereas if you're going to make passive income, then, you don't really have to do anything. And to be clear, there's no such thing as passive income, right? So I want to make that super clear. There's got to be some kind of, somebody's got to be doing the work.
For sure.
Right? So yeah, I got really involved into these frictionless offers, and I mean, that's my favorite thing. Like at this point,
how do you? So like that's like your main thing.
Yeah. So I mean, I have a 7-figure and an 8-figure brand still at this point, but that's like the main thing is essentially
7-figure, 8-figure brand on Shopify.
Yep.
Okay. And how I want to go back to that, but like how are you promoting the brands on Shopify currently? Are you doing like Facebook ads, Instagram ads? Are you still doing your Instagram strategy as well?
Yeah, so we like to syndicate everything. So, that's why I think Shopify is, the Amazon killer really is. It's like decentralized e-commerce. So you can syndicate, your traffic sources, you can syndicate your payment processing. I mean, shit, you can even syndicate your URL and your domain. Like you have so much control on the platform. So, I think that I think it's definitely superior. But to answer your question, we're running, TikTok ads, we're running Facebook ads, we're running Google Shopping ads, we're going to run YouTube ads,
doing everything,
run Snapchat ads, we run the whole thing, right? So I mean, and then you got organic too, right? So you got Pinterest, organic, you got YouTube Shorts, you got Instagram Reels, you got TikTok. I mean, there's so many different ways to get traffic now. It's crazy.
That's dope. Oh man, I thought the audio just went out on me for a second.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, man. So how do you attract clients for the high ticket offers?
Yeah. So I mean, that's really where network comes in. Like I was saying before, going back to those 3 pillars that I was talking about. I mean, environment, network, and your vehicle. If you have those in place, it's gonna be really easy to just sell anything at the end of the day. So, most of our sales will come just from like affiliates or just networking. So just like this, me and you, hanging out, just like vibing, like you have that. When you have that personal relationship with someone, it's very, very easy to sell things,
For sure.
And especially, for me too, like, what I've realized, because actually, funny enough, I deleted Instagram and Facebook off my phone. I don't have them on my phone right now. Which is crazy, right?
Yeah, it is.
So, because like I'm really, really, for this season of my life, I just really want to focus on this right here, just like actually like giving you my full attention. I want to be here with you right now, and I want to be like on social, like just like spending these waste. I mean, it's just like I think that there's a place for it. It's a massive tool. It can bring you a lot of success, but it also can be extremely toxic and take a ton of your time.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't want to take any more of my time. Like I don't want to be wasting any energy on it. And it's like, I don't want to be in a room with people that I care about, and I'm like on Instagram. Like it's like, that's just like such a waste. I'd rather be here present with you right now and giving you everything I got.
That's real. I
what I'm
respect
saying?
that. I respect that a whole lot.
You know, so yeah, I mean, back to what I was saying before is that, you know, how I've sold a majority of like high ticket things is just relationships. That's really what it comes down to. Like if you can build really, really high quality relationships with people, then you're never going to be poor. Like,
Amen. Well, shit. I mean, where we at? Well, shit. We only got probably like 5 minutes left. Is there man, you gave a lot of game, bro. You gave a lot of game just telling your story.
yeah,
And
man.
your story is amazing. How old are you, bro?
I am 28 now.
You 28.
28 now.
Boy, you ain't even 30.
Yeah, not yet. Not yet.
You a bad dude,
It's
man.
it's a blessing to make it this far, dude.
Man, shit. And it's only the beginning, dog.
Definitely.
So is there, like, if you can give, well, I know those three main things.
Yeah.
Like, is there anything else that you would give, like any other game that you would give anybody who is trying to, you know, create a new stream of income for themselves, get out of their 9-to-5, move out of their parents' house, get out of whatever fucked up situation that they're in, and become, you know, a good entrepreneur?
Yeah, more.
Yeah, more for sure.
Yeah. I mean, a couple of things. I mean, I think just read a ton. Like, I mean, what do they say? It's like, you know, the man that doesn't read lives one life, and the man that reads lives 1,000. Right. So I think that's really, really important, is to just get free game, you know, from as many books as you can. You know, read books about people that are just crushing it, and you will you'll get a lot of value. And then another thing I think is, you know, get a skill set, get a vehicle, right? You know, it doesn't have to be the best vehicle at first. Like, don't think that you're gonna just like, you know, that's something that I've really learned about life, is like you're not gonna have 100% accuracy, and to expect to have 100% accuracy is just, it's stupid.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, that's not gonna it's not realistic, right? You can never do that. Nobody in the world, like the best in the world, doesn't have 100% accuracy at anything they do.
For sure.
So there's no reason to, you know, Michael Jordan, LeBron, like Kobe, none of them have, you know, 100%. It's not like they're shooting every single shot and making it, right?
Yeah, no, fuck no. But
So,
yeah.
you know, you can never, I don't think, having an expectation, like that's another thing, I guess, is, you know, expectations, you know, like setting expectations for yourself.
Have realistic expectations.
Have realistic expectations. That doesn't mean like, you know, don't value yourself. You know, you can, like, you shoot for the stars, you'll land for the moon, right?
For
like,
sure.
You know, so I think definitely like that's really important, but I think you gotta put the work in too. You know, you gotta be willing to, you know, go all in and make a ton of sacrifices, and, you know, learn a valuable skill set that you can leverage to bring you to the next thing. Because it's really not about making money. Like, that's what you got to remember. It's not about making money. It's about becoming the person that deserves the success, right? So it's about that. Like, I think a lot of people are like so fixated on being rich and being a millionaire and X, Y, and Z. Like, that's gonna like define them,
Right.
and that's not gonna define you. Like who you become, the person that you want to be, is who is going to define you. Like, who is the person that, you know, has the $1 million? Don't focus on like the money. Focus on, like, you know, the character traits,
yeah, the person
the
that you
habits.
become.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I think, you know, doing that is super important, obviously. And then, yeah, just like focusing on a skill set. You know, getting into sales. Like, I think sales is super important. It's, if you're in a really crappy situation, do sales. Do high ticket sales. Go take a sales course. Learn how to sell stuff. Get in a good environment. If you hate talking to people, do e-com. You know, like,
Simple.
yeah, very simple. Just do something.
Yeah.
Don't waste time. Like,
Don't waste time.
don't waste time. Like, just, you got one shot. So every minute's ticking, and everybody here has the same amount of time. You got 24 hours in a day.
Hey, man, I'll be saying the same shit. Man, Big Money Jay, appreciate you stopping by. My guy, you know, another episode of Free Game. Look, Jordan told me to start doing this. Man, like and subscribe, man, if y'all like this episode, and, you know, that's that. So.